What I will do is exit this out to see if it improves the stream. Tell me when I sound normal.
Yeah, I think your connection just pooped there for a second.
Okay, how is it now?
Yeah,
Okay.
you sound better now.
Okay, so in this case, Kale, if you can go to Twitch TV/DSL streaming and field the questions for me. Can you do that?
Yeah, I'll do that. No problem.
Okay. Just
I
remember to
think
keep the sound down so that it doesn't blast you.
yeah, I'll just keep the stream. Well, the chat will go if you keep the stream from playing. Do you know that?
Uh, I do know that, but apparently Twitch might be too much for it. I don't know. See, I have a
Okay.
quad processor, so should be okay. But
No, it's your internet. Something's like it's your internet connection.
okay.
But yeah, I'll field the questions. No problem.
All right, sounds good. Kale is going to field the questions. Give them as many as you can. We want the guest commentators to have their day. And Lewis, thank you. I'll consider it next time. I'm going to go ahead and try to finish the stream for the folks. But this fight is now Ixiques versus Calvisis, is how I'm going to pronounce that. Cal is a human pirate, and Ixie is a blade singer.
I don't think a pirate can win this, can they?
Okay, so we had a critique on the forums, and let's just play devil's advocate as much as possible. Here's what I would say about that. Perrin fought Ixiques, and he won. And the strategy that he used... Oh, also, he lost to Gurfing. And the strategy that was used was dirt kicking Ixie, doing damage, and then summoning Charmies to vampy off the Charmies. So you're healing, you're keeping Ixie blind so he can't heal, and then you're doing damage to him. And also, if you can get a disarm and drop kick off, that's pretty good.
But that's assuming Ixie isn't also dirt kicking you, so you can't summon Charmies.
It is indeed.
So the thing about Ixie is like every time I bet against him, he wins, and then every time I bet for him, he loses. So I don't actually want to bet on this, but I think he should win. I mean, the class matchup is just not very good, right? I think
Bladesinger should win this. Bladesinger is favored. It is a difficult match for Pirate, not an impossible one.
I think Cal's best bet is stance defensive. Hopefully you double parry him to death because low strength, shallow nesty elves. I'm serious. There's just so little a pirate can do against blade singers. There's so little that hitters in general can do against blade singers.
Yeah, and Cal does tell me that he has fought Ixie twice. One was a low toast for Ixie. Second was oft for Ixie. So this might be the third time. I mean, that's pretty close, right?
That is very, very close.
With perfect play. Aro does want me to say his settings file wasn't fixed. He didn't see the tail come in, and he had to fight Kid without a tick timer. So that may have affected slightly his expectations. So that considered, he did a great job. Still need to get that spirit up, though.
Yeah, have the spirit tank. And go stance defensive when he flees to re-init on you. He shouldn't get too many hits off. But anyway, back to the current match.
Ixie and Cal.
So the thing about Ixie is he doesn't do the thing that I think he should be doing, which is summoning chain posts.
Yes.
Because if he summons chain posts, there's no way Cal can win this.
Yes, and it's surprising to me how many blade singers don't summon chain posts. I'm just so used to seeing I'm ingrained in like the days of Dalatar and Rain, where those guys were just insanely on point with doing everything. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that Ixie has summoned many chain posts in the AGL. I know I've seen him do it a couple of times. But again, Blonde is going to be important here. Cal probably needs to summon Charmies if he gets any leeway to do so. If you're Ixie, the way that you want to win this fight is you keep Cal dirted. That's essentially all you have to do. And make sure that Song is up.
Yeah, I mean, if I were Ixie, dirt kick him, summon a chain post, put a chain post in in every freaking room and then just chain until you win.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to beat that strategy, but I don't know if Ixie's being a good sport, which is possible. Um, but even in a straight melee matchup, Blade Singers, reposition, it's just so good.
It's great. In fact, if you're a blade singer and you're hoping that you see a hitter in the other preparation room. That's what you're hoping.
Yeah. So for Cal, Hammer of Justice, Saber of Light, Weapon Stuns, and then Dirt Kick, and then try to double parry him to death.
Mm-hmm. I agree, and we are 30 seconds until, so we shall see.
Cantalina asks, what can pirates do besides drop kick? So pirates can meat shield, but that's a group thing. It doesn't do anything in a 1v1. So meat shield pulls someone in front of you and they take hits from your primary target.
In theory, you could use it on an NPC, though, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could.
So that'd be interesting. But, let's see, Ixie does get dirted at the immediate. Ixie is spamming Acid Blast, and that's not a bad move. I mean, he's getting damage out on a pirate. Pirates do have critical, though, correct?
No,
they don't
have any healing. No.
Okay, that's a good move in that instance.
Ooh, see, double parry, very nasty.
That could have an effect, especially if he summons and Vampy's off.
I'm also not sure why Ixie doesn't circle stab. I'm actually not sure what stats circle stab checks, but it's very, very good.
This is what's crazy. We're seeing double parry hit as much, if not more, on Ixie, but Cal is already yellow.
Yeah, it's...
Just Acid Blast damage is kind of enough. I mean, if he keeps Cal dirted, then that's... And that went through saves. Oh, Cal does get the disarm off. He resongs immediately. That's... either fast reflexes or a trigger.
What are they supposed to lose for using offhand? I forget because it seems like they don't lose anything, but I know in theory they're supposed to.
Is it dual wield? I think it's dual wield.
No, they lose dual wield, but they when they offhand for the secondary weapon, they also get a bonus. Sorry, they lose. They're supposed to lose some like defensive bonuses or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
I'm not actually sure was implemented, but that was the original idea when offhand came out, but it just doesn't seem like it. So
all I know is it's great. It's great to be.
Well, I'm wondering. Yeah. I'm wondering. The reason I ask is I wonder if Ixie should just single wield.
Maybe. I mean, it's already looking decisive. Cal is doing what he can, but again, I mean, Song Acid Blast. That's what you have to. You can do that. You can dirt a hitter. You can win as a singer in so many ways. I mean, Cal's doing a fine job dirting at the top of ticks, but...
Yeah, he's doing basically everything he can. Ixie's just doing it right also.
He could also... I mean, I don't think that Ixie has dirted him much of it all, so he could be summoning and getting some charmy heals.
Okay, so Ixie didn't Blade Song, so if he loses, I'm going to be really upset.
Wow, this will be fantastic.
I will be really upset.
I'm not going to be upset. You want to see the underdog win. Just don't be a crybaby. Just don't worry about your eggs.
My eggs.
Don't be like Ferg.
There's the re-song.
Yep. Did make it a little closer. Cal summoned some Charmies and Spirit off those. Vampy.
So...
You don't have to. I'm just saying. I want to see some vamping, and I want to see this close.
Ixie should single wield and stance defensive right now. Or actually don't single wield because he might get disarmed. But he should stance defensive so he doesn't double parry himself to death and then just Acid Blast. I think he'd win. And Cal just needs to keep doing what he's doing. He's doing a good job.
He is doing a good job.
Those 2 or 3 rounds without Blade Song were very bad.
Yeah, they were consequential for sure. Cal does get a free dirt off Ixie.
I think it's
going to be Flea and Acid. Yeah, this is a surprisingly effective tactic. One way that Shadow Knights used to always beat Warlocks is they'd blind you, especially Goblins. It was always Goblins. They would blind you with Spit, and then they'd Raven Rescue. You just flee and then spam Cause Fat. That is a huge round.
Once again, no Blade Song.
No Blade Song. This makes 2 matches in a row that have been so exciting.
He needs the drop kick before the tick. And Ixie needs to get a Blade Song up.
Another dropkick. Acid. He does not re-song. He does song there.
Oh, there we go. Repo.
Okay, that is wimpy. That was an off toast.
Yeah.
Well done
My
by
eggs are
Cal.
saved.
Well done by Cal, and Acid got the job done for Ixie.
I think Cal played that pretty much as well as he could have. It was very well done.
I mean, the only thing I would say is get the summons out and Vampy off. I mean, if Ixie is blind, he's not healing, so that would be a little extra health. Especially with 83 health. That would have done the job, right?
Yeah, so another thing is Cal should invest in a Fairy Fire Wand.
Yeah, I mean, it
'Cause
doesn't
what
hurt to
happened-
get that little bit of reduction.
No, so how does hide work in the arena? This is a mechanic I'm not actually sure. It only works for a little bit, or does it not work at all?
It works. It
It
does
works.
work, yes.
So it looks like what happened was at the end, very close in the end, he was getting drop kicks off. Ixie didn't re-song. And the thing about Blade Song is you can't just Blade Song. You have to be in combat to Blade Song, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was he got 2 huge rounds on Ixie, and Ixie fled, and he hid for the tick to rewield his weapons. He didn't have weapons equipped.
Right.
And so if he was Fairy Fired, not only would have taken more damage from more AC, but he would have also possibly failed his hide and then gotten drop kicked and died.
That's true. And that was cool. Cal did push the momentum as much as he could. He did tell me that he failed every summon, so that sucks. Minotaur spec should work for hitters though, right? I mean, they're 30-ish.
I was told. Yeah, they should work. Minotaur Spectator should work. I'm told that it not hide. He was running around, but if that was the case, then you sit in the middle and spam dropkick.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, dropkick at the beginning of song, like, that's nice. But anyway, 2 good matches, man, down to the wire. Wow.
It was close. I
Any
was scared.
questions to Field?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Yet.
Good stuff, good stuff. Oh, I want to say welcome back to Cantalina. She used to do a great job in the AGL herself. She would play jungler in every match that she could. She lost some because it's a mechanics game, but she always played really well. So it's really nice to see her back. But yeah, that's twice, and you know what? We've seen 2 matches. Everybody has made mistakes.
close.
That's just what happens. Again, it's not. I want to make it clear that this stream is to work on and improve, but I also want to specify that it's easier for me to look at this and look at the matches on a macro level and watch what you guys are doing and then critique. It's harder to be in there and make the calls. You guys have specified sometimes the mechanics didn't work out for you. I understand that. Del Nietzsche saying, the next one I do feel a bit bad about. Let's see who it is.
Okay, Lewis and Rumpton.
Oh, no.
What can Lewis do?
Okay, so let's look at this here. Well, for one, he can dart Rumpton.
Yeah.
All right, listen, I'm gonna in theory go with this.
You can dart golems, right? Can you dart golems?
Probably. You dart Rumpton and you fairy fire him, I guess, if you have a wand. You I mean, sure is a straight damage spell.
So
Yeah.
I mean, does Shuriken go through AMS?
AMS. It's a physical skill. It should.
Okay, I don't know. I've never seen a.
It
I
should
mean,
go
Lewis
through
is like
AMS.
the only ninja that actually PK. So I've actually never seen a ninja fight an invoker.
A while ago, there was a ninja named Kip Gray who played Injustice, and he he was going for a BP run. It was like 1500, and he got strangled and lost out on that. But it was kind of nuts to see a ninja that high on the bounty point list.
Yeah, I think ninjas have gotten several pretty severe nerfs.
They've gotten nerfed. A little bit ago, Choir was making use of scan darts, and it was no fail. And
Yeah.
it got brought to forum attention very quickly.
No, no, no. Um, what was I gonna say? No, no. So the dart nerf was fine, right? And
Right.
that needed to be fixed. But
It
I
needed
think
to be fixed. It needed a charge stun on it because it was Rohan was getting dart scanned off every flea, and then Bloodlust would bring its group over to him and just like gangbang him every dart.
oh yeah, I was there. I killed him. Yeah. But no, oh no, no betting on this. But okay, so the thing here is like so I think Ninja's got according to Lewis, I think, or he made a post in the forums, he was pretty upset because I think Ninjas might have gotten a Thaco nerf also.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who don't know, Thaco basically determines how well like base your the class hits. The better your Thaco, the better your
Yeah,
melee
correct.
hits land.
Like Shukinja, not that great. A lot of off hitters aren't that great.
Yeah, and I think the dart lag has been increased. It was 2 rounds before, and it might be 3 now. I'm not sure. That could be wrong. And then they basically don't have in a duel. They have like what shuriken. That's it. They don't have any other skills to use.
I will say one thing. He dueled Aro last match. Rumpton is a little different. Rumpton is incredibly hard mode. But he dueled Aro and he did a fantastic job with the mechanics. He made it surprisingly close. Oh, and ninjas do get backstab. So that's one thing you could do if your Kinder saves held up. I really don't know what to expect. I mean, certainly it's a difficult match for Lewis, but I've also seen him do really good things in the arena.
Yeah. So the thing, I don't know. It's scary, man.
It's
Rumpton
scary. It's
does
definitely
so
scary.
much
Maybe Rump
damage.
will make it interesting. Maybe he'll, make sure he uh, does as well as
Doesn't
he can.
AMS, doesn't AMS, and doesn't chain. That's how you would make it interesting,
Doesn't
right?
pixie dust.
Well, so the thing about invokers is what in the history of AGL, who beats invokers, right? Healers, right?
Healers
And
do, and usually tanky
warlocks.
things. Yep. Well, no, I mean warlocks. I mean old school warlocks maybe, but
Oh yeah, old school like Ramondo and stuff.
yeah.
But like you usually beat invokers by running them out of mana,
To be honest,
right?
invokers have had um, kind of a reign over AGL for a very long time. You can go to 2004. You will see Mantroth with a nearly perfect record, destroying every character, including Shadowknots, who were really good back then. You can go
Keep
to
almost. Yeah.
you can go to 2014, and Zudum is world champion. He has 4 defenses. He has killed everyone. Invokers, specifically Minotaur invokers, but any kind of invoker. Pixie is incredibly good. Can have a super, super good AGL record. I would say with the advent of Holy Smot, with classes like Shadowknots and Paladins who can out heal and then mitigate damage with blue skins, and luckily a Holy Smot land, you can beat invokers, but they're still so good. We
Yeah,
We are
I don't
15 seconds until, and now go. So let's see. Rumpton is non-detect. He's not going to get that dart off just yet. He does pixie dust. I don't know that it did anything. Nope, not yet. And he is AMS'd.
yeah.
Lewis is
Okay.
getting some hits
Lewis-
off.
Yeah, the hitting is good. His hitting is pretty good.
Oh, I think Rumpton is just casting on him.
Ooh.
But again, already yellow AMS chain pixie. So good. That's probably what 150, 200 damage each time. That was a mangle toward the end of the chain.
It's way more than 120, by the way.
I said 150
Probably
to
close
200, but
Oh, did you? Okay,
yeah.
I missed
But
it.
it's still a lot. He grows a
Yeah,
tail.
now he just acid blasts until he dies. It's
Yep,
sad life of a Kender.
That's a wrap, but invokers are tough. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Lewis can do absolutely nothing that he hasn't done.
Yeah, he doesn't have a stun. He doesn't have healing. There's just nothing he can do.
Yeah, I'd be proud of that yellow toast. Look at how feral that pixie is. Just pulled out a heart. And that must have been taking some work when you're like 8 centimeters tall.
I think a pixie. I'd like to see a pixie Voker fight a Wild Elf Blade Singer.
I would like to see that too. There'd be a lot of hitting for the Blade Singer. You'd probably just cast through the Wild Elf though.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how well like Wild Elf and Saves gear saves, right? Like how well would Pith save with Citadel and like Underworld gear.
Yeah, Rumpton does say Blade Singers don't scare me at all. Yeah, I mean, with AMS, you can do a lot of damage very quickly. Some OOC contention. But
Well, the
what is
reason
Rumpton's record? He's
I
not
don't
on the
actually
contender
know.
list yet, but I would imagine that he has mostly wins at this point.
So the reason I said Wild Elf Blade Singer is because they have high dex, so they can actually land, and Pixies obviously don't have high con or strength, so a Wild Elf Blade Singer could actually just reliably bash.
Yeah, I think in practice it just ends up being a chain fest.
Yeah, but like I don't know
The
because
thing
you
is,
can
Blade
bash.
Singers have always been. I understand what you're saying, which is Pixies. I think Rumpton has some health, but Pixies typically don't have that much health. Blade Singer, Thaco is really good, but it's still.
Blade Song hitting.
Mages have always been good against Singers. It's just the truth. Spell damage is good against Singers. Singers are good against Fodders. It's rock, paper, scissors, but.
You
And of
think
course,
so?
I do think so. I think a Minotaur Invoker would destroy Toast a Blade Singer.
Well, a Minotaur, yes, right, because they can't
Yeah,
stun him.
I think an
And you can't prevent
Invoker,
the chains.
if you're talking base class, I think that an Invoker is good against a Blade Singer. I believe that.
One last match for amusement.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, so a Minotaur, sure, like a Wild Elf Blade Singer can't do anything. But like I said, the reason I wanted to see it is because you can actually stun a Pixie. So it would depend how well the stun held up to prevent the chains and how much damage
I'm
a
always
stance.
uncomfortable predicting with absolute certainty what a Conclave Pixie fight will be. Like, Rumpton, if you were listening to this, what was the Grendel fight? It was either going to be he steamrolls through you or you cast on him immediately and then lead the fight from that moment. It's going to happen in the first 5 to 10 seconds that you know who wins.
Okay, well, this one's a little interesting.
Wow. I'm actually excited to cast this.
So,
Rumpton does say he slept Grendel off the bat and cast it all over him. But this is Perrin versus Vasath. This is Orc Armsman versus Orc Armsman. This is always a pride match. You always feel like you have to win. And to an extent it is RNG, but what I will say is Vasath has done amazing the past few weeks that he's played Orc, but Perrin is almost always perfectly on point in the AGL. He's beat Blade Singers just off, superior play. So I'm really excited. Perrin does get favored off the record, off the fact that he held a championship.
I'd probably put like 2 eggs on Vazath. So the one thing to note, does Misery still work in the AGL arena?
Yeah, well,
So Conclave has it and it's on
they made a
Bloodlust.
change recently. Yeah, it works. It works if it's set, but there's something that in the ACFL anyway you can't set it prior to a certain amount of time. But I think it does work in the AGL. I think that Vasath will have Misery. Also, Perrin will have superior gear because Vasath is relatively new still.
Um, I do remember Perrin dual trace,
Mm-hmm.
and I was sent a log of that, and I think he off trace, and an orc should have a really
Well,
big
here's the
advantage
thing.
over a human.
Perrin has talked to me about Armsman duels recently, and he's told me that he takes it a little easier on smaller race arms that he duels. Like there was a recent fight that he had with Mask Deck, who is like a half elf or something, and he says he plays around with it a little bit. But in the AGL, he's done really well. He makes ample use, avid use of the Blade Singer's considerable arsenal.
Do you say Blade Singer?
or the armsman rather. This is why I have co-casters to catch me in my lies.
Yeah, I think it'll be close.
It's gonna be good. And Masath, he wants to keep the record fresh. He's 1-0, and Perrin has had his wins and losses, but he also held the championship.
When was the last time Perrin did AGL?
It's been a while. Perrin took a long break. He took a several months break, so he has been dueling a lot though. So I would say both players are fairly up to snuff.
So Vazath has 5 dragon skins on him.
Oh wow. Okay, he got set up quickly.
So I.
But here's what I mean. It certainly affects things as an armsman actually, because you have to have physical weapons. There's hardly any way out of it. But this is going to be a good fight. I'm trying to think. If you keep an armsman blind, there's utility in that because they can't switch weapons. You drastically reduce their versatility. You can make a couple of different choices. You can choose to lash out. You can choose to go for a disarm game with entrap. It just really depends on what kind of armsman you are.
Does entrap go through? Grip?
You know what? I don't remember. Maybe grip does guard against that. This is something I should know because I played an orc armsman about a year ago. Well, a few years.
So personally, I put some eggs on Vazath after I found out he has more dragon skins than all my.
Says that entrap goes through grip if stunned.
Oh well, yeah, that's true, but it still will be very low percentage, right?
Yeah, so maybe not worth it. But again, what were you saying? Sorry, I interrupted.
Oh, I was gonna say I just put eggs on Vazath after finding out that he has so many dragon skins.
What is it? Is it steel?
God, hold on.
Rumpton says steel blue. Yeah, that's tough because as an armsman you use bounty point weapons and use physical.
Perrin has 2 also.
Oh, he does? Well, we shall see what happens here. I would say, I mean, at that point, if you have knowledge of that, then you just use some off-brand stuff. I mean, there are options. I mean, let's say you want to use whip. Let's say you want to use lash or something. Then you can use like that, spirit whip. So maybe he knows. This app does injure Perrin. That is not high damage at all. But he's hitting more than Perrin is at this point.
So I think there's some value in going stance defensive with the
S-Cleave does land.
I was just going to say there's some value in going stance defensive with the shield and then going for stuns and dirt kicks.
Vasath, Perrin is hitting Vasath considerably harder at this point. That's a noun up. Noun and a half, really.
Vazath might not have spirit whips.
Ooh, good flurry there. All injures. Perrin is still in white, but good flurry. Did Perrin bring a second shield?
I don't think he did. Well, he might. I don't know. He's been dirt kicked reliably. So
he has. Oh, so he has 7 seconds left. Yep.
Yeah.
Seth is getting some good initial damage off. Perrin is doing the correct thing. Probably stance defensive flee.
Yeah, so you shouldn't fight.
Ungirded now.
You shouldn't fight. Oh, nice.
Very nice. Very good choke on the top. But go ahead.
I was gonna say if you're playing a stun game, you shouldn't. You should not fight when you're stunned. Just flee out and then try to get unstunned, and then try to get the first stun in, so you can be on top and have the advantage.
Nothing but pain comes from being stunned in a one-room exit. Perrin does get the Fairy Fire off. That's going to be a little reduction for him. He's going to go for a flurry. No, he does not. Thought the swords meant flurry for sure.
Nice. So now Vazath is hitting pretty well.
Oh, Perrin is hitting very well too.
Wonder if Vazath. Well, no, there's no way Vazath would be wrong protected with a red robe.
No, he shouldn't be protected. Perrin is just doing a lot of damage. Vazath does some Salient amount.
Interesting.
It is interesting. The casting guest is a Radin. He is a buddy of mine, and we had the undefeated regular season in Shadow until we lost unceremoniously to Bloodlust. So he's got credentials.
Yeah, I was a priest then, though. Okay, so this stallion actually is wrecking Perrin. I
It
was not
is.
expecting this. This is a good strategy.
Visath has proven to be pretty clutch. Perrin does
Keep me
shield up, but
shielded.
Visath is still doing the charge. The charge.
Yeah, he's owning him with
This
charge.
is
But this
incredibly interesting. I would not have predicted this as a strategy. This is
okay.
fun for me.
So why doesn't he just?
Kill the
There we go.
stallion. He gets it
Yeah,
done, but oh, that was a lot of unmitigated damage there.
yeah, that was really nasty.
If Visath wins off this, he does trip Visath off the stallion. That's the right move. But Visath is
He's
going to get a
missed.
fleet. He does trip. That's
Oh,
center of the Colosseum, though, so Visath had exits.
needs to read dirt kick if he wants to do this again.
Perrin
But
probably
that
trying to
was
trip, but Visath got the fly off. He should have had flying potions there, to be fair, but Visath is still. I'm not going to critique him. That was clutch as hell.
I'm trying to figure out why their damage is so different. Is it just the weapons are that much better?
It's hard to say. I mean, I wonder if Perrin has blues or steals, but certainly the damage is like a noun up. It could be
But
protection.
even divine,
It could be Visath doesn't have that great AC. He might not have the Dragon Sins enchanted fully.
his divine power is doing wounds
I
too.
know the noun that you can't protect against is doing wounds.
Oh,
Maims there. Is
did
that
the
Sanctuary?
sanctuary wear off?
It looks like Sank. It is
Yeah, it was sank. So if I were a Vazath, oh, there's a
S cleaved again. Oh, and a huge round. Wow.
so if I were Vazath, I would just summon another stallion and go for it. If it worked once, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't you do it again?
hmm And Luz does say the parents spent a lot of time in New Thalos with Lunas, and his weapons are pretty great. But
But he's using like spirit whips and stuff, right?
yeah,
Like,
I know. So like the max is like 12 or something. I just want to say I'm so impressed by this. This makes me scared of Galaglass in the upcoming ACFL season. I'm still gonna nitpick though. He's had a great game, but I'm still gonna say you should bring Sanctuary potions in the AGL.
so is this where Perrin summons Charmies in? Yep.
Yeah, he's going for
That's
it. And
It's a
this
vamp.
has been a traditional staple of Perrin. Here's another thing he's really good at. It's trickier with an arms, but if Perrin is going to flee and he's going to rechoke in right about now, I bet. No, he doesn't yet. Oh, there he is. Oh, he does
He
impale right
impales.
off that. So he's probably going to go for another choke here. I mean, it's... Oh, he gets
Blanket.
darted off that into the room. And that is going to hold the chokes off for 25 seconds.
Vazath's. Oh, here's the
Vazath.
stallion.
Ooh,
Oh, nice. That's a good idea.
that was a very good idea. Kills the stallion instantly. This is a high skill cap game for sure.
Well, he kind of made the mistake summoning the stallion in the center of the
He
arena.
made the mistake, but... Oh, and there's the
Ooh.
off toast.
Nice.
Phenomenal
That was
fight.
a good match.
That was...
So that was the stallion.
This has
and the
been
charge.
what? 3 off toasts and one that wasn't that close. I want to say a great job to both players for that. I'm not at a loss for words because I have to cast, but that was a great game.
So that was definitely the stallion in the charge. I think.
That created enormous momentum that he was not able to recover from, and when you face in a mirror match, it's all a matter of if you can get that slight edge that is going to change the entire outcome of the fight. You can't make mistakes. You can't... I mean, listen, I wouldn't have predicted that in an armsman fight.
So what I'm trying to figure out is if Perrin maybe panicked a little because can you impale the something that's not your primary target? I know you can. What's the axe move?
Whirl?
Whirl. I know you can whirl, right? So he could have wielded axes and whirled the stallion and killed it.
It depends on whether it's a skill like charge, where if you like you spam it in that way, it's kind of weird and
No,
not
I'm pretty
buggy,
sure
but
I've seen Asjub whirl things that he wasn't engaged on.
yeah. I would always
Uh,
go for whirl as kill toast just for fun to see if you can get it.
So I think Perrin could have easily killed that stallion in the very beginning. He took almost like an entire tick of charges,
I
right?
think
Probably.
what happened is he was surprised and he didn't know what was going on for a second there because that damage came out. It was like 4 rounds that were equivalent to flurry or something. The charge land was insane.
Yeah, it was good.
I would like to see a rematch of that. That was like some Patterson Pacquiao stuff.
I think I think in a rematch, Perrin would win because he wouldn't know about that stallion. Like the second time you saw, he didn't get the stallion
Right,
off.
but sometimes, I mean, that's important. I mean, the element of surprise is a huge factor in the AGL, and credit to Vasath for coming up with that.
He did good. That was a unexpected win.
You did good, kid. I still plan on beating you in Galaglass, though. But that should wrap it up. That should be the finale. But I was to be honest, you never know what kind of matches that you're gonna get. Parent to say he stole my strategy. You never know what kinds of matches you're gonna get. You never know if they're gonna be close. This was 3 that were fantastically close.
I accidentally bet 5 eggs on Vazath instead of 2, but I guess that worked out for me.
Well done, well done. You can thank that stallion for all your monetary wealth.
Well, I'm still surprised at how much more damage Perrin was doing. I would like to know how much AC Vazath has.
I was too,
versus
and you
Perrin.
know what? The factor is, let's say that Perrin summoned that stallion and charged with those downs. That would have made it equally.
He would have destroyed him. That's crazy.
To be fair, I mean, maybe a part of that was luck. I mean, if it's the same race, same class, maybe you don't know if charge is going to land for sure, but that was.
Well, Charge has a really good land rate on big races, and
Yeah.
I think Orc counts. So,
That's slightly big. It's like 5'11" being tall.
well, they can single wheel two-handers, right?
Yes, they can.
So I think that for the purposes of the code, I think Charge has a very high land rate on Orcs. So
Aro does say, and I agree with this, I think that this is very likely. Maybe those dragon skins are close to Virgin, and so he would be down a lot of magic AC. I mean, to be fair, Perrin was also using, like, off-noun stuff.
yeah. Well, either way, there was looks like an AC difference between the two, like a big AC difference, and then there was Misery, and so that costed him a lot of damage. But then he summoned a Stallion and then
And
destroyed
that's
him.
a good point. That's 60 AC on Misery. That's 6% damage reduction, in addition to not probably having fantastic gear. So those things add up, but he certainly countered that with, I'm going to go ahead and say, brilliant strategy. But it actually brings to mind 2002 fights with Palladus, who was a Shalinesti elf warrior, and he would mitigate he had a lot of healing as a Shalinesti elf, right? But he was vulnerable to weapon stun, so he would mitigate that a little bit by summoning mounts in and using his healing pool, and he did relatively well. So that's going to wrap it up for tonight.
Perrin is saying in your Twitch chat he can't believe he lost because of the Stallion.
Well, just remember that even in mirror fights, this stuff can happen, and you don't get better from success usually unless you're incredibly hard on yourself. You usually get better from failure. So now you know that that clutch, super clutch trick. But that is going to make the cast. And Aradin, this is the second time that I've had you on, and I want to thank you for casting with me, man. You bring a lot to the
No
cast.
problem. It was fun as usual.
It was fun. So I'll see you in Shadow, where we'll sacrifice babies. All right, buddy.
All right, later.